Today we're going to look at the cement mixer. It's a very simple, very straightforward workstation, as it requires no fuel, no extra tools, and all the recipes are on one page. The cement mixer is the key to making cement mix, which makes some of the toughest blocks in the game. It's also one of 3 ways to make fertilizers, and the only use for rotten flesh. The cement mixer can be tough to make before night 7, and even if you do, you need time to mix the concrete, then lay it out, and then wait for it to dry. So if you're on night 7 and you just made your cement mixer, it may already be too late. Before we get into the finer points of concrete mixing, let's go over how to make the cement mixer itself. The first thing we need is the concrete skill. It costs a whopping 30 points to buy, so start saving if that's really what you want. Once you have the skill, the recipe will unlock at the workbench. The materials you need rely heavily on having a wrench. The forged iron is easy. The springs can be wrenched from beds and cars, that's not a big deal. Mechanical parts can be wrenched from office chairs, air conditioning, shopping carts, filing cabinets. We did all that for the workbench. Finally, we need a small engine. I've only ever found small engines from wrenching apart cars. I'm sure there's other ways, but I've only got them from cars. It's the primary way to get them. There are 3 types of cars that you can find in the wild, and strangely enough, they're all some form of sedan. You can only get engines from wrenching full or half cars. Let's take these 2 apart and see if we get lucky. Nope, guess not. But that's okay since I stashed one earlier. And now that we have everything, we can craft our mixer. The next part isn't really how to use the cement mixer, but more of how to make cement, which will show you how the cement mixer works. So now that we have our mixer, let's take a look at the concrete mixing recipe. We need crushed sand, which is easily dug up, small stones, which we've been gathering since day 1, and cement. This is the confusing part of concrete. We need cement in order to make cement mix. Regular, or dry cement as I like to think about it, we get from the forge. The forge smelts rocks, which then can be crafted into dry cement. The great thing about forging cement is that no tools are needed and no other forge supplies are needed either. I built this forge just to make cement, and as you can see, there's no tools, no extra resources. The only thing I can make is small stones and cement. I like to do this in survival as well, allowing for one forge to do only cement and the original to do everything else. Okay, so now that we have our dry cement, we'll get some sand and some rocks, and let's go mixing. Well, we don't need to watch it, so we'll come back in a bit. Finally, let's quickly go over how to apply our newly minted cement mix. In survival, I like to start my bases with cobblestone, which can be upgraded with concrete. You can immediately jump from cobblestone to concrete. And with an axe in hand, then just right-click to upgrade it. There are 2 kinds of concrete blocks. There's concrete block and reinforced concrete. When upgrading cobblestone, we'll reach the regular concrete first, but then we'll need another 10 mixed cement to upgrade it again to reinforced concrete. Now, the caveat here is that to get to reinforced concrete, it needs to dry first. So it'll be wet concrete first, which is not as strong as reinforced concrete. Alternatively, you can place a rebar frame and go directly to reinforced concrete after it dries, of course. And that's it. The cement mixer is really simple to use, however, making and using it for the first time can be very confusing. Hopefully I've answered any questions you may have had about cement. Otherwise, just let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.